The Himalayas. The Yangtze rises here, partly draining that massive mountain range. The Yangtze is the Great River of China. In Mandarin, the word translated means long river. It's the longest in Asia, third longest in the world. By the time it reaches the sea at Shanghai, it's travelled more than 6,000 kilometres.
It's important to understand that the floods in the middle reaches are caused by heavy rainfall in the upper reaches. Looking at historical data, the heavy rains are concentrated in an area of over 300,000 square kilometers. The existing reservoirs upriver are too far from the heavy rains and their capacity too small. They can't control the most seriously affected areas.
After 80 years of debate amid much celebration, the Yangtze was finally cut and diverted in 1997. Chinese leader Jiang Zemin presided over the inauguration. The dam will control flooding, produce vast amounts of electricity, equivalent to 18 nuclear power stations, and allow a 5-fold increase in shipping. But to do this, more than 1 million people will be displaced. A reservoir 600 kilometres long will submerge whole cities and towns. Already, people are being moved out of their homes. Once again, allegations of corruption have plagued the construction of a big dam project. In this case, officials from the Three Gorges Resettlement Bureau were caught embezzling $58 million of resettlement money in January 2000.
Take the example of China, for instance, because they have developed over the last few years a very advanced resettlement policy. Some of the specialists that were working in the World Commission on Dams were saying that this is one of the most sort of advanced approaches to resettlement. The issues with many of these things now are not so much at the policy level, but more in terms of implementation.
In spite of the problems, the Chinese government is pressing ahead with the dam and plans to finish it in 2009.
The heart of China is found along the banks of the Yangtze River. It's so rich and populous with its mining industries and people's prosperity. If we had a flood today, like 1870 or 60, it would inundate the whole area, and they say the impact would be like dropping several nuclear bombs on China.
Norwegians consume more energy per capita than anyone else, about 10 times the world average. Their electrical power is cheap. Norway's 6th in the world league table of big hydro producers. The country has a small population, just over 4.5 million people. Hydro schemes in Norway produce 99.6% of all their energy.
The Glommen-Lågen basin is a very large basin in the Norwegian context. It covers more than 40,000 square kilometers, which is about 10% of Norway. The river itself, it consists of 2 branches, the Lågen River and the Glomma River. In that river we have 26 different reservoirs of some magnitude. We also have some 40 different power stations.
Over 98% of the energy today in Norway is hydropower, and it's a clean, renewable technology, and they have benefited tremendously from that.
Heaven on earth? Not quite. There's just one little problem: fish. Half the population of Norway goes fishing at least once a year. It's the most popular form of outdoor recreation. The dams interfere with the migration of fish, so preserving fish stocks has become important to dam planners. As part of their conservation efforts, they've built fish ladders.
Yeah, we have quite a lot of fish ladders, yeah. To make it able for the fish to pass the dams, because they usually can't jump some 10, 15, 20 meters up in the air, so they have to have a kind of fish ladder to walk through. And the fish ladder is like a staircase with water instead of solid stairs. So they can jump from one stair to another to climb up and bypass the dam.
But fish aside, the Norwegians have no problems with their dams. By carefully avoiding shifting lots of people from their homes, they escape the main problem confronting big dam projects.
There are two most critical factors in developing storage projects and dams in the world today. First is that the stakeholders should be involved in the early planning stage of the project. And secondly, you have to make sure that all the affected people who live in the area are the first to benefit from the development of such a project.
If Norway is sparsely populated, both India and China have over 1 billion people. In those immense countries there are, for the UN, human costs to consider.
The old-fashioned way of assuming that there was a trade-off between those people who are adversely affected and those who are benefiting, whether it be in a city or remotely, has moved away. We're not talking in the terms of trade-offs anymore. And I think there's a realization that those adversely affected people should become the first to benefit from these types of projects.